Radical Entertainment's Prototype 2 brings us back to Ravage Manhattan after Alex Mercer's rampage in the original Prototype. This time you play as war veteran James Heller. The game starts with a surprisingly well-done sequence of calls between Heller and his wife and daughter, ending with him coming home to find them dead. At which point he becomes the foul-mouthed protagonist determined to hunt down Alex Mercer for revenge. Upon arriving back in Manhattan to hunt down Mercer, James instead gets himself infected and makes a leather jacket out of a virus or something like that. Promptly after that, he turns his quest for revenge on every living thing in the city. And in this game, they deserve it. As you consume people's memories and find recordings around the city, you learn how cartoonishly evil every other person in the game is. They actually need to be, though. It turns out Heller isn't really a likable character. More than being an anti-hero with nothing to lose, he's kind of just a dick.
Bitch, I want you all dead, and I ain't picky about who goes first.
Alright, but enough about the story. This game is about feeling powerful and throwing tanks at helicopters. And you will throw tanks at so many helicopters. You can throw tanks at all kinds of stuff in this game. You also get a bunch of other powers, claws, tentacles, fists, and they're introduced one at a time so you never feel confused about what they do or how to use them. And even just moving around the city makes you feel powerful. Jumping from the street to the top of a building and then rocketing down like a meteor never gets old. Despite its focus on destruction, there's also a stealth aspect to the game that works quite well. It isn't what I'd call challenging, and definitely not realistic. But in the world of Prototype, where you're a monster made of a virus, it fits.
A-OK, sir.
I often found myself passing up the chance to cause a huge explosion and start a big fight, in exchange for grabbing a military uniform and just walking in the front door. I did run into a couple major problems with the gameplay. The auto-targeting system is extremely frustrating, and you quickly have to learn not to rely on it, otherwise you'll end up killing random trash cans instead of the target you've carefully hunted down. The other major problem is the final boss battle. Throughout the game they do a great job of making you feel like you're the baddest motherfucker in the valley, but then at the final boss, some of your powers are inexplicably gone, and the only effective attacks are poorly conceived QuickTime events. It feels like they outsourced it to a different team but didn't share notes. All in all, Prototype is a fun example of open-world rampage games. It puts you in control of an overpowered monster and makes you feel like nothing can stand in your way. While the story is lacking, it feels like an honest attempt at bringing some substance to a fairly shallow game. Also, people bombs.